Okay, so I'll just quickly create my shapes before we move on. I'll do a circle. Also, you can also change the color after you've created it by choosing the properties and then just changing the color. So if I want it to be a blue circle instead, so right click, blue circle, instance name, so I can speak to it on the stage, blue_C, and then I might just have, there we go. Right, we're all nearly at the point where we've got 3 symbols on stage with instance names. Great, you've got your instance names, brilliant. Charlie, you're nearly done. There's one thing I want to do, which is kind of a side step. I just want to bring your attention the workflow a little bit. Okay, so you've created what is known as an instance of a symbol. So in the library, we've got the symbols, and anytime I drag an orange rectangle on or a blue circle on, notice that I'm bringing another version of that symbol. So that can be quite useful when you think a little bit further down the line when you're creating characters and things. And you can do this in code eventually, like we did with the sound. Each symbol can still be edited. They've got what's known as their own timeline. So pay attention to this area here. You can see the labels, buttons and actions. So we're in what's known as the main timeline, the main game. But if I double click on this blue circle, you will notice at the top it says scene 1 blue circle. So it's telling me I'm inside of the blue circle. A bit like when you see breadcrumbs on a website. And in the timeline, I've got layer 1 rather than the layers I had. So, and to go back out, I just double click any empty space like that. Or I can click on scene 1 and it will return me to it. So that means that I can make edits after I've created a symbol. So let's just see what happens if I bring another circle on. Okay, put it next to each other. And notice what happens if I change this. I'll use the free transform tool, which is basically like in Photoshop or anything else. It lets me resize it, rotate it, that kind of thing. I'm going to resize this one. Notice how, as you would expect, I've made that one bigger. Nothing has happened. If, however, I double click on either of these circles, go into their main timeline, highlight the whole thing, and then do this, notice how the other symbol gets bigger in relation to. There's a relationship there. Basically, symbols are definitions. If you change the definition, then every single instance of that symbol changes. So say, for example, you change your square to a circle. They will all become circles. Okay. I just want you to go through the process of changing the color of one of these symbols just so that you go through that process quickly. Okay? I'll just pause that while you... Okay, so we're back in the main timeline. You've tested that out. You've changed the color of one of your symbols. If I press F9 now, I want to see my actions. Currently, there's nothing because I'm on the wrong layer. There's 2 ways to address this. If I look to the left here, it says scene 1, actions frame 1. So it's telling me there's actions on that. I can click on that and it will bring me to the actions. The other way to do is just to go into the main timeline and select the layer and then open actions up. So we can see now we've got our sounds which play. We've got that already. What I want to do is to make them play based on something being clicked. So we're just going to test it on one button, one sound to start off with. So what we're going to do is we're going to comment out our code or parts of our code. And the way we do that is we do slash /star is a multi-line comment. What that means is it's no longer code, it's just a human readable comment and it's ignored by the compiler. And the way I close that is to go */. So I'm just commenting out that bit of code for now and focusing on one set of sounds. Brilliant. You done that, Charlie? It went grey. It goes grey. Then what I need to do is I'm going to surround these two lines of code, which are the instructions, as it were. They're statements of what I want to happen, with what's known as a function, event listener. So you've got buttons. I'm not entirely sure what you've called them, but if it's in the conventions that I've used, so say for instance, I've called my blue circle blue_MC. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it blue_MC dot. And we're going to look for add event listener. If you get the little drop down menu come up with that, then that's great. If not, did you get it come up? After the dot, you should get a drop down. All right, try this then. Put var blue_MC dot and then colon movie clip. All that's doing is telling Flash that you're. Yeah, there you go. He's got the drop down menu. So then when you put blue_MC and press dot, on your computers you will get a drop down menu. My code hinting is not working currently, which is annoying. Just double check that my. Okay, so blue_MC dot and then add event listener. You should see when you started typing add, drop down, you can scroll to add event listener, but the convention is every word is capitalized after the first word. So you notice there, little a, capital E, capital L. And I need to open a bracket. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the word function, all lowercase. Followed by some brackets. Followed by a curly bracket like this. I don't know if you, can you see that curly bracket? So that's the one next to the P key. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to go to the other side of those instructions and I'm going to put the opposite curly bracket followed by the opposite normal bracket followed by a semicolon. Oh, hang about. I've missed one very important thing. Once you've done that, I also need to put something before the word function. I need to tell it what type of event we're listening for. So if we're going to click on the button, then essentially we're listening for a click. And the way we do this is we put mouse event with a capital M and a capital E, dot click, all capitals. Let me just make this full size so you can see all my code. And then a comma. So that's the way it should look now. Yeah. Once you think you've done with that, press Control and Enter, and then try and click on the button that you've done this with. Bear in mind that you will have different instance names to me. So if you've got errors, it's either going to be because you've typed something wrong, in which case you want to check that add event listener's gone blue, mouse event's gone blue, click's gone blue, function's gone purple, new is purple, var is purple, play is blue. They're your keywords. After that, you would then check your instance names to make sure that they match what you have put on your symbols. So I'm just going to double click this, Control and Enter, and then click on the blue circle, fingers crossed. Okay, great. Save at that point. So I'm going to save as, and then I'll just call it free, and then come and help you guys